Good morning, everyone. This is Penny Bongato once again, and I am very thrilled to have a guest today, all the way from Canada. She is a master trainer of the Canfield Group. She was with us. She has been with us for the past so many years, being with Jack, doing the Train the Trainer, and also the Breakthrough to Success program. I'm honored to have her in this conversation, and she said yes. So I'm
Yes.
honored to have Kathleen Seeley. Hi, Kathleen.
Hi, Penny, and I'm honored to be asked and invited. It's great. Thank you.
So, Kathleen,
Good to
where
see
are
you.
you from? What part of the world are you from?
I am in a small town, small city called Salmon Arm, British Columbia, and I'm just 4 hours east of Vancouver. And I live in Canada and I love it. I feel really safe and happy, and it's beautiful here.
Is it still snowing there?
Well, funny you should ask that. Is we usually it's beautiful right now, but we had snow this past week. It left after a day, but it was really weird to wake up to that. But
Yes,
it feels like everything's changing. You know?
everything's changing.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
and even your studio is changing. I remember having
yeah,
conversations with you in a different
yep,
setting of your house. I love it.
yeah. Yeah, we made this because we've been filming a whole bunch of things for online and doing more podcasts like this and interviews, and so we thought we'd make it look pretty.
It is very pretty.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
So, Kathleen, what do you do? What does a master trainer in the Jack Canfield program do? What do you do
Well,
with Jack?
okay, with specifically with Jack, because I do two
Yes.
sort of things. Like specifically with Jack, I've been working with him for 10 years, and I have been designing and teaching in his Train the Trainer live program. I also have been featured, I'm featured in the online program, and I helped develop that. And as you mentioned, I've been a frequent speaker at Breakthrough to Success on his stage. And I've been a guest at a couple of luxury retreats. So I do a lot with Jack as well. He hired me, gosh, 3 or 4 years ago to do my leadership program with his team for a year. So he's been my client from a consulting perspective. I train with him. He's my friend, and you're my friend because I get to meet
Yeah.
the coolest people doing that work. So it's been 10 years with Jack. It's great.
Okay. And yes, I've seen you have the stage with him. You do the passion test and a lot of other things. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm
Yeah.
I'm grateful to have met you there as well. So aside from, because we've talked about Jack's work a couple of times, aside from the work that you do with Jack, I know that you have your own training program that you do certification. You get people
Yeah.
certified on. What is this?
Okay, there's a couple of other things I do. I work in corporations, and I help them in leadership development and transforming culture using values. And you're speaking about the culture transformation tools that I'm a training partner with the Barrett Values Center, and I certify people, coaches, consultants to use Richard Barrett's tools to actually work with leaderships, individuals, and organizations to help them transform culture using this metric called the Barrett Values Culture Transformation Tools. It's an amazing piece of work, and it's essentially using values as a means to dialogue and to create cohesiveness in culture.
Okay.
And I've certified over 100 people in the last 3 years, so it's been a blast.
I know, I know. I signed
You're
up for this
coming.
year. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
did.
yeah.
I did.
So
Online
excited.
now. Online.
Yeah, yeah.
So Kathleen, doing the CTT work and the Jack work, and having seen what's going on around the world, there's a global
Mhm.
recession, there's a pandemic. How do you see these two programs, or the values program, play a role now in the lives of people and in corporations?
Well, I think this is the best time for this, personally and organizationally, because it's sort of a dissembling of everything that we know, really. And if we use values as a way to rebuild ourselves, we're building ourselves from the inside out. I see values as underpinning everything that we do, and our values drive our behavior. So when everything kind of pulls away, and like I said, dissembling, the world is
Mhm.
dissembling, we have this tool that can help us say, you know, what is really deeply important to me personally and organizationally, and we can realign our behavior to that, to break through. I mean, it's very stressful for sure, but if we know who we are, we can stay grounded in the storm, and not get swept away by, there's so many offers coming in, so many temptations, both for individual coaches and organizations to take a shortcut or close down, or there's so many things happening, Penny, as you know. But using these tools that I use with the Barrett Values Center and my Massively Human Leadership tools, as well as Jack's tools, it helps people really tap into what's deeply important and then connect as a team, an organization, and then they can move to a common vision. So I think it's the best time for this work.
Life has changed. Life is changing.
Yeah.
And there's people have been saying that we won't be going back to the old normal, because there will be a new normal. A question on the values. Do values change?
So they can, yes. And what we value changes as we develop in our age, like we develop in stages, and we operate on levels of consciousness, and we have worldviews. And over time, the things that are important to us change. However, we do have some core things that are important to us all the time. The key, though, is more than looking at the values, but more the beliefs that surround it. And our beliefs that we have, our decisions we've made about the meaning of something. And now I think it's vital for us to question our beliefs and to see, you know, is this serving me? And I'll give you a couple of examples if I have time. Is that all right with you?
Yes, please.
Okay. So one example on a micro individual level is the value of family. And your value of family presents different than mine. So the value of family is is universal, but the belief around it is different. So as we age, we might shift the beliefs we have around particular values. And I like my favorite quote, and you've probably heard me say this because I say it all the time, is by Carl Jung. And Carl Jung said, "You cannot live out the afternoon of one's life according to the program of life's morning, for what was true in the morning, in the evening has become a lie." And what that means to me is that things that were important in my youth are less so as I'm a mature adult, looking at the world from a different perspective. So the things we value shift. And we also have core values, like a core value of compassion it's a core value of mine. It doesn't shift with my age. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Cool.
So with family, all of us value family. And I know people ask me, is family your priority? Do you always, because we're women, when society tells us that we have to be taking care of our children, doing the household chores, and for some of us, like myself, wherein the roles are opposite, they ask me, do I feel guilty about not being at home and being the breadwinner? And I think about it. So sometimes I think, is it bad to want a career? Is it not? Is it putting aside my family instead of this? Is that wrong?
Well, you know, you are asking the fundamental question that most women ask when they do work with me. And I think traditional roles are really, they're created by beliefs. And there's actually no real reason for it, aside from a bunch of people agreeing that women should stay home and raise their kids. I've never had that passion either. I have 3 kids I love dearly, and I also have a career I love dearly. So what I've learned to do is be okay with me and understand what's important to me. And I've been able to demonstrate to my kids that I can work and I can focus on my family. But what's true is when I'm working, I'm present to work. And when I'm with my family, I'm present to my family. And I've had to shed all those rules that were laid on me in my growing up as I was having children and married, because I too always had a passion for my work. And I say to women who are struggling with that is that you say to your family, this is for me, not against you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's enough to go around if we allow ourselves to be okay with who we are, be comfortable being seen by the world as who we are.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure why my camera's gotten all blurry. I have no idea what happened. I probably bumped something.
That's okay. That's okay. You're still pretty.
I'm misty, I'm mysterious, and
You always have been. Anyways, I like the being present at the moment at your career and being present with your family.
Mhm.
And sometimes that gets very blurry. And
that's nicely done. For sure. Back when I was on the road a lot, and I'm on the road, not anymore now because we're not traveling, but I remember men would say to me, you should be home with your kids. And I used to feel guilty. And because part of me thought, I should be. And then when I was home with my kids, I wanted to be at work. So I made a decision that what anyone else thought of me really didn't matter as much as what I thought of me. So I decided again to just be present at work when I'm working and present with my kids when I'm with my kids. And that's worked for me.
okay.
It'll work for you too.
Okay. I love that. I'm not your traditional, oh, it's not blurry anymore. It's,
Good.
I hear people here in the Philippines, we have a lot of overseas Filipino workers wherein the women are overseas and the men are at home. And they feel guilty but not being with their family, but they have to provide a living. There's so many nurses in Canada, Filipino nurses in Canada, Filipino nurses in the US. And sometimes they say I should be home with my children, but somebody would have to earn a living and provide for the family. So okay, I won't feel guilty anymore.
Well, you can. Guilt is a choice.
Yes.
But that's a sign of, do your values change over time? And that's questioning a belief system about what a mother is and what a father is. So you've just questioned that belief and decided, actually, this framework doesn't serve my situation because I need to support my family.
Yes.
And my husband is capable of caring for the children. They love their kids just as much as the moms do. So it's just rearranging that belief system. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, and my dog is hovering over my table. My golden retriever is here.
Aw, let's see.
Come, Sushi.
Sushi.
He's so heavy.
Oh, that's okay.
No.
I need a dog. I love dogs. I have 2 cats. Oh my gosh.
Ouch.
What a beauty. Hi, Sushi.
Sushi. Come on.
I love it.
He's biting me now.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a lot of downtime. Just to let you know, our lockdown period has been extended up to April 30. It was supposed to be until April 14, and now they extended it for a month, for another two weeks. And people say, I'm bored, I'm not doing anything. It's so hard to work from home. And organizations have not been ready for remote working. It was so sudden that people asked their employees to work from home. And Philippines is a third world country with no nice internet connectivity. What can you advise people who say that I'm bored, there's no, I'm spending too much time on Netflix, what's a nice series to watch? What can you advise people who have the time now?
Okay. Well, I think there's a couple of things. The first thing is be where you are and not comparing yourself to what other people do. Just be present to that. If you happen to have binged on Netflix, the truth is you binged on Netflix. It's a great opportunity to renew, and rest if that's what you need. I say go in and listen to your body. And also, it's also a really great opportunity to learn new things. And I say that with the caveat, take care of yourself. Everyone doesn't need the same thing. It's almost like we've had this opportunity to press pause. And, some people are saying, I'm going to get in the best shape of my life. And for me personally, my life hasn't changed because I did a lot of work online, but a couple of my kids are out of work. So they've decided to work out a bit more. But the key thing, Penny, I would say, is just be present to the moment and do something good for yourself every day. It can just be a little thing or a big thing, but one thing every day that nurtures your soul, your body, your mind, your spirit. Learn something new, go for a walk, take a long bath, one little thing for yourself every day to really capture the potential and the opportunity in this kind of reset. And as far as with connectivity, if you're teaching online or using the internet as a platform, I think it's just so important to acknowledge it and set expectations. If you're talking to a client and you just say, you know what, we might lose each other. I say that, and I have great internet connection, but sometimes it goes. I always set the tone and say, if I lose you, I'm going to call you right back. And let's just be patient with that. That's just what's real.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I like the one little thing each day, every day. I will do that as well.
Yeah. Good. That's what I try to do.
Yeah. Especially the exercise. I need that for the body. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Kathleen, what is the Massively Human Leadership program that you have?
So I have it's in the perfect world is a 9-month leadership program where I take a corporate leadership team and move them through a process of learning how to lead self, and then leading others, and then moving into leading organizations. So it's a process of building up leadership capacity, using values as a way to measure alignment. To, if you say, for example, I value compassion, or I value family, or I value balance of home and work, then do you allow your team to have that balance as well? Are you walking your talk? Are your values, what you say, in alignment with what you do? So the core program is really, it's a lot of intensive personal growth. And then we move into, how do I then take this learning and share it with others in my team? And then, of course, to run an organization. But in a perfect world, it's 10 sessions, but I work with teams. I'll do a 1 day, a 2 day, a 3 day, whatever it is. But in a perfect world, I like the longer term work, because I always say change is a process. It's not a one-time learning event. You need to keep going at it, right?
Yep.
You know?
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're very busy, even with this period.
Is that a question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so thanks. A lot of our contracts were also, I would like to say postponed, not canceled, because we can't travel. I travel a lot into the States for my work. So that has been ended, but we've used the opportunity to build more of our programs online. So we haven't wasted any time playing the pity party. It's like, okay, what do we need to do strategically? But thankfully, we have been teaching online, and I've been certifying people in the CTT, the values tools, for a couple of years. We have been working hard to take Jack's Train the Trainer program online for the first session. We've really pivoted, and the team has come together. So we're doing a lot of that teaching online. So it's not like I have had a whole bunch of free time, but we're also really leveraging this opportunity to be creative, to connect. We're making all kinds of free videos for people to consume to help them do exactly what you're asking me, is how do I reset? How do I cope with change? So we're just trying to find a way to contribute in our own way with our own gifts. So I can't say that we've had any downtime necessarily, just shifting it in a different direction.
Okay. The reset button, and being able to, Jack said that, being able to pivot, be able to pivot in this new environment that we are in.
I want to pick up on something you said about the back to normal, and you're right. There is no back to normal. We are creating. I say, as Robert Quinn said, we're building a bridge as we walk on it. We have no. There is no. There's no set path of where it's going to end up. And I say, the one thing people ask me a lot is, what do I do? What's it going to be? What's the reason for this? And I say, you make the reason. You be the change you want to see. To quote the great Gandhi, is if you want the world to be a kinder place, be kinder. I just have this thing about do a little thing every day that moves towards the future you want to see. We can become the architects of what this could be when we get through the intense pain and the heat of it. If we're mindful, we can manifest and create exactly the world that we want. There is no rules because it's never happened before. That's the opportunity I see in this.
It's never happened before. Nobody expected this.
No.
So I was talking to some organizations and they were saying, we have BCP, business continuity plan, for earthquakes, for floods, for typhoons, but never to this magnitude. And everyone was caught by surprise. And in the Philippines, some companies even have to bring their desktops home.
Yeah.
So it's changed. It changed.
The massive impact is unexpected. I think that in the back of, if you ask the experts, they have predicted pandemic and what can be done. But I think sometimes as humans, we don't think that's going to happen to us. And I think that many are caught unplanned, unprepared, and who knew it would be? I mean, I can't even imagine. I couldn't have conceived what's happening right now. So that then, if we couldn't have expected or we can't conceive of this, therefore we don't know how we're gonna move through it. So that's our opportunity to design how we're gonna move through this.
Yes.
Nobody has a rule book. It's the best time to be alive.
I love that. Nobody has a rule book.
Yeah.
And we can design our own rule book.
Yeah.
Okay.
I always say we're the architect of our own life.
Architect. And you did say do a little thing every day that you want the world, so that you can create the world you want to be in.
Yeah. There's two little things every day. One that nurtures you and one that nurtures the planet. Like, what's one thing you can do that you would like to see more of in the world? And then also we have to take care of ourselves. It's about a balance of healthy self-interest, taking care of ourselves, and common good. It's balancing those two. So if I don't take care of me, I can't serve you.
Yes.
So it's both. Yeah.
Okay. I remember one of my friends, conversation with friends, the preacher that I was talking to yesterday said, love yourself and love others. So yourself and others as well. I love this conversation, Kathleen.
Me too.
I just love it. I was telling the people from the Canfield assisting team, the people that I always am with, that we are together in the assisting team, but never had I ever had a chance to talk to them. Because when we're in the circle, we're in the circle. After we do our job and then go home. Never had the chance to have a conversation. And this is great.
So that's the opportunity for you. And just to take a moment, you're such an integral part of our Train the Trainer program. You've been a role model, always stepping up, willing to do whatever it takes. You have been like a stellar graduate of the program. And I remember when you stepped up on stage in front of everyone, day one of the training, and gave a 15-minute talk. Like you're killer. So it's great to be able to actually talk to you, because we don't get that time either. So it's been nice. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that day when Jack asked us to put the names in the box for the presentation.
Yep.
I wasn't going to volunteer, but when another the Indian guy put his name there, I said, I'm not gonna let my fear get in the way.
Yep.
And I was
You
cold.
you
And
did
I
it. You
said,
did great.
oh, why did I volunteer?
Yeah, right after you got picked. And you
Yeah.
know, that's what the world requires, is courage to take the risk, to do something new. And what a great opportunity to emerge from this with something new, something shed, something new birthed in you. And it comes from having the courage to just step up, raise your hand, just go for it, you know, like, and you did, you went for it.
Yeah. When I raise my
And
hand,
you did a great job.
when I raise my hand, it's always slowly.
Yeah.
When Trisha would ask who'd like to, yeah, when Trisha would ask who'd like to lead the meditation,
Mm-hmm.
me.
Yeah. Yeah. And just like I asked if you would want to participate, helping us train some of our students from, you know, the
This
other
part of the
side of the
world.
world, your
Yeah,
side, your part of the world, you said, of course, like,
of course.
never hesitate. Never hesitate. You are on calls at 3:00 in the morning. You do whatever it takes. That's why you're a role model for people in Philippines and the world. You're a role model because you take the chances, you take the risk. You're always kind, and always with a smile on your face. And you've been through adversity. You have faced so much, and you push through. You just push through. You're such a great role model. So it's so nice that you asked me to come talk to you today.
It's because I you know why, Kathleen? Because the love and the joy that I feel whenever I'm with you guys is different. It's
Yeah.
a family. That's one thing I realized. I'm with my Canfield family.
Yeah.
And it's just different. So I'm
Yeah.
excited once again to be part of the TTT online. I did not volunteer initially because I couldn't afford the travel,
Mm-hmm.
but now that it's online, thank you.
Things just work.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be part of the CTT this year. Not even having to go to Canada,
I
and
know.
just do it online would really really help.
Yeah, and it's just a great opportunity. We decided to do it online instead of live because there's people like you who've been wanting to do it for years. So let's just do it, and we're doing it. May.
Yes,
So
yes.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
can train the people in the Philippines. I don't think there's a Barrett certified here yet. So
Oh, cool. Oh,
be
yeah.
the
That's
first.
great. Good
Be
for
the
you.
first.
Good for you. We'll help you be the first.
Be the
Yeah.
first.
Yeah.
As, and help the Filipinos once again. My
It's,
hashtag journey to 100,000 Filipino lives.
yeah. Yeah. You're doing it. You're
Okay,
doing it.
so is there
Yeah.
any other piece of advice or parting words for our conversation that you'd like to share?
I think what has been most helpful to people I've been talking to these days is, don't measure yourself against somebody else, where you should be, what you should be doing. You know, I always say, you know, this is my first time being 55. How would I know where I should be or shouldn't be? I've never done it before. So just give yourself a break, and trying your best to just be present to what's possible, as opposed to saying, you know, Joe's here, Bob's here, Mary's ahead of me, I should be this, I should be that. Instead, just be you where you are. And that allows for the clarity to take your next step. It's not a
Okay,
race.
it's
Yeah.
not a race.
Right.
And you don't look 55. I like the hair.
Thanks. I was ahead of my time. I stopped, started growing my gray out last year.
Uh-huh.
So I don't need a hairdresser right now. It's getting long, but you know, I don't have any roots to cover because these are my gray roots. So
I remember Marco when I was interviewing her, having a conversation with him. He was saying, I had to shave for this conversation.
yeah, yeah. It's like, I've been on a lot of Zoom calls, so I do actually have to shower daily. But I have people who say, I'm not going to turn my camera on. I haven't showered in a couple days. So that's kind of funny. It's a new normal, right?
Yeah, new normal. And Julie was saying, I have to shave my hair.
Yeah,
Julie does.
sure. She doesn't have any.
So this is a lovely
fun.
conversation.
It's fun. Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kathleen.
Yeah.
And from this side of the world, from the Philippines, we're 15 hours ahead of you. Thank you very much for sharing a few minutes of your time this Tuesday afternoon, your time, my Wednesday. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And
my pleasure.
Virtual hug. In the Philippines, it's the Korean love. That's the heart. Yeah.
Like that?
Yeah, that's the heart.
Good. Thank you.
So stay home, stay safe.
You too.
Okay, thank you. Bye.